Road trip complete. Let's go. Why not? Let's get lucky.
We are in Waco, Texas this episode at Hot Social Club, a brand new poker room in the Waco area. We are spinning up a $120 tournament here. It is a freeze-out tournament. There was about 30 or so entrants. Top 4 get paid. It's tourney time, boys.
What a great video we have today. So we want to first say thank you to the Social Club for hosting us. Here is my first hand of the evening. I've got ace king offsuit, under the gun +1. We see a call from under the gun +2, a call from middle position, and now a raise from the button to 5,500. I started the hand with 70,000 in my stack, so around 80 big blinds, and facing a raise versus a loose player who you will see more of guaranteed throughout this video. I think a jam here is great. The other two players calling won't have too strong a hands because they didn't raise me pre-flop, and they both fold. Thankfully, the button now makes the call, and you'll be surprised what hand he flips over. 4-6 offsuit. Let's go to a run out. King, queen, 4. We both flop a pair. Turn is a 7 of diamonds. He calls for a diamond and gets there with the 3 of diamonds. Unfortunate start, but we've got chips left, not out of it. He only had 25,000 in his stack, so we got about 50k left in our stack, down a little bit.
The first hand for us, we look down at pocket jacks in the hijack. Blinds are 200, 400, and we started this hand with about 75k in front of us. There are 2 limps to me, and I bet 2,500, and the cutoff decides to min raise us to 5,000. It seems like an isolation raise, and it folds around to me. I just decide to make the call and go to a flop heads up, which comes 8, ace, 8, rainbow. Pretty okay flop for jacks. I decide to check, and he checks back. So here I'm considering I might have the best hand when I don't really need to worry about anything because we smack a jack on the turn, boating us up. Great card for us. Very, very disguised boat here. I decided to lead out and bet 5,000, and he quickly makes a call. At this point, I'm putting him on a lot of hands that contain an ace, so I'm not really scared, and I'm definitely planning on maximizing my value on the river, which comes the 10 of spades. A great card, hoping he is ace 10. That would be the best scenario possible. I decide to bet huge here. Now, I don't go for a pot size bet. I go for an over pot size bet. I bet 35,000, hoping to make it look a bit bluffy and get calls by ace king, ace queen, and ace 10. And he snap calls. I mean snap calls. Very fortunate for us. Great run out. He flips over king, queen of diamonds. So not exactly sure what he was doing on the turn when I bet. However, he got there on the gutter, on the river. Kind of a cooler situation at that spot, but happy to scoop in the large pot our way and keep stacking up chips for this tourney.
Alright, first hand for me. We look down at ace queen of spades on the button, 75k in our stack, first level. Blinds are 100, 100. Under the gun, raises to 700, middle position calls. Probably should be 3-betting here, but we don't. We just go for the call. Flop comes ace 6-5, rainbow 1 spade. We flop top pair. Under the gun checks. Middle position leads out for 1,800. I decide to just make a smooth call here, and under the gun folds. Heads up to a turn, which is another ace, a rainbow ace. This time the gentleman sizes up to 3,000. I am so confident in my hand right now. I love being in position as well. I just call again. The river, as if things could not get any better, is a queen. Wow, we boat up. He also continues to bet. He goes for 5,500. At this point, normally when I'd raise, I'd probably raise like 3 or so times that, but because I'm assuming he's got an ace, I know we're ahead, I'm going to raise really big here, and I go for 5 times his bet almost, and make it 25,000. He calls, we show, we're good. He shows an ace, says he has ace 7. Let's win this tournament, boys, why not?
This is a very interesting hand, guys. I have ace-10 of offsuit, and there are 2 limpers, under the gun +1 in middle position, limp for 800. And I make it 4,000 in the cutoff, knowing I'm going to have position on those 2 players. But the small blind makes a call, and that ends up pricing both of the players in. So now we're going 4 ways to a flop, which comes ace, 3, 5, 2 diamonds. Now is where the hand gets weird, and I end up making a mistake, actually. Small blind rips it all in for 20,300. Now I'm totally thinking about just calling against him, but my plans are ruined when the middle position player calls as well. So now I'm not exactly sure what to do with such a mediocre ace. The middle position player has 20,000 left in his stack, so I'm on the fence on what to do. After a little bit of deliberation, after Jack coming in to watch, I make this announcement.
Gamble, gamble. Gamble, gamble.
Gamble, gamble. I call, not realizing that the other player has more money behind. The action was completely live. I made a mistake calling that way. The dealer corrects me, and now we have to go to a turn card. After I announced gamble, gamble, and that turn card is a 6 of spades. The other player looks like he just wants to check it down, and I'm fine doing that, being a little embarrassed. We check it down to the river, which is a 5. Small blind flips over pocket kings, so I'm happy. The middle position player flips over ace 9 offsuit, so we outkick him by 1 and take home a super big pot. Very funny action here.
Top pair, I'm never folding. This next one is a fun one for you guys. We look down at king 10 of diamonds, under the gun position with 7 players at the table. Blinds are 500, 1,000, and I've got about 150,000 in front of me, running pretty well and want to keep running it up, so I open it up to 3,000. We get a call from the hijack, who's short stacked, and we get a 3-bet from the button, who's arguably the craziest, most wild player I've ever seen in my entire life. This guy was betting every single hand, opening every single hand, and betting all 3 streets regardless of his hands, showing down 6 high, 7 high, 8 high, plenty of times. So when he 3-bets to 12,000, I'm actually considering I definitely have the best hand here with king 10. I'm really not too worried, so I just make the call, and then the hijack decides to do something weird. He jams for 25k here. Really weird spot. The button just makes the call, and for 13,000 more chips, just such a large pot already. I think this is just a spot where I'm gonna have to call and try to spike something. I make the call, and now we have a side pot between just me and the crazy player. Flop comes 5, 6, 10 with 2 clubs. I absolutely love that flop. I'm assuming I'm going to have the best hand here against the button about 100% of the time, unless he flops some sort of set. I check, and he bets 15k. This is a slam dunk call. I just make the call, and off to a turn, which comes the jack of clubs, bringing in that flush potential. I check, and he checks to me. The river duds off, and I check again. He checks, and I'm good with king 10 with just a pair, even on that juicy board. I was good, scooping in an almost 80k pot here. Definitely great to be chipping up. The button ended up showing 8-5 suited, so just as I was saying before, I suspected him to be opening a very, very wide range.
Next hand for me, we are at the next level of blinds, 100, 200. I now have 100,000 in my stack. We look down at pocket queens in the small blind. Lovely. Under the gun, +1, opens to 1,200, 6x, and gets 3 callers. We will not be playing this hand out of position with that many people. I go for the 3-bet to 10,000, thinking this is a pretty big size, but these people are liking to call everything. Under the gun, +1, the initial raiser folds, but all 3 of the callers call. So, pretty crazy stuff here. We're going 4 ways to a flop, completely out of position. Flop comes jack 10-6 with 2 diamonds. And you guys let me know, is this a c-bet in a tournament, in a cash game? I don't know, we still have a pair that's higher than any pair on the board. I go for a smaller c-bet here for just 15,000 to kind of see what's up. We get 1 fold. The next guy rips it in for 42,000 on top of the 15, so that's 57,000 total. And it folds back to me. Feeling pretty gross here. Not loving life at the moment. Don't have much intel on this guy either. I just don't really feel confident about where we are here. I think that we went to the flop so many ways. This is a very wet board. I don't think we can have too much equity in this spot. Maybe we're ahead and he's got a draw. I don't know. I go into the tank, let it go, and he shows proudly pocket sixes for the flop set. So happy we got away from that there. Don't think we could have lost any less. So we'll just keep our head up and go on to the next one.
You'll get this whole hand from Rosie's perspective. I've got 85,000. It folds to me in the cutoff. I look down at pocket eights. I make a mistake here and I just min raise instead of ripping it all in for 8 big blinds, and the big blind makes the call, and now I am panicking because I knew I should have just jammed, and the flop comes Jack 8-6. I flop a set. Let's go. Not worried anymore. He checks to me and I guess I'm still excited or nervous. I check it back. Turn is a 5. Now we want to start betting. He checks to me. I make it 25,000 and he calls. Good news, going to a river, which is the queen of spades, not a good one, and now he just jams. 42,000 left with a set. I'm never folding. I make a call and we're good. He flips over 6 queen 2 pair. We beat that. Take it down. We're staying alive. Chip in a chair.
Still alive.
This next hand, we look down at Jack 9 of diamonds in the small blind. I've got about 152k in my stack. Blinds are 600, 1200. Plus one decides to bet 4,000 and he gets 2 callers. For this price on the small blind, I decide to make the call with a suited gapper. Anyways, we go to a flop 4 ways, which comes 3 of clubs, 7 of spades, 9 of spades. Great flop for us. We got top pair. I decide to check, and it checks all the way through. The turn comes the king of clubs, bringing in the second flush draw. Now we got clubs and spades out there. I check, and it checks all the way around to the cutoff, who decides to bet 12k into this pot. It folds back around to me, and I decide to stay a little sticky here. People at my table have been bluffing quite a bit, showing down pretty ridiculous hands, and willing to get it in with just about any pair on the board. For those reasons, I decide to stick around and make the call with my pair of 9s. And the river comes the 3 of hearts. Great card. I'm not really expecting him to have a whole lot of 3s here. He decides to check to me, and I check back, and we are good with our pair of 9s.
Next hand for me, pocket 10s on the button. Blinds are now at 1,500, 3,000. I have 130k in my stack. Folds to me all the way on the button. I go for the min click. That usually is pretty good in tournaments, right? 6,000, that's a big bet, right? Only the big blind calls. He's pretty priced in, I guess. So the flop comes heads up, 6-3-3 with 2 clubs. He checks. We have a pair higher than any pair on the board. I make it 5,000, and he calls. The turn is an offsuit 8. He checks. I think we make a little bit of a mistake here and check back for pot control. I think we need to definitely keep betting here. We still have a pair higher than any pair on the board. There is draws to be had. Anyways, free river. River is the 5 of clubs. Not a great card. The front door flush gets there. He now leads out for 15,000. Kind of tough. If he's got the flush, he's got the flush. We still have a pair higher than anything on the board. I think we just gotta shrug and call here. That's what I do. He shows queen 4 of clubs for that flush. A couple things we could have done. We could have raised bigger pre-flop. We could have bet the turn to charge. Maybe find a fold on the river. Not played super well here. We lose this one. On to the next one.
This next one gets intense, so buckle up. We look down at pocket 10s on the cutoff. Folds all the way around to me. Blinds are 2.5k, 5k. I've got about 300k sitting in front of me. I decide to open it up to 10k on the cutoff. The button makes the call, and the small blind has some news for me. He rips it all in for a total of 91,000. The big blind then decides to let me know something too. He makes the call. So this is a weird spot. It's about a third of my stack to risk. I definitely can have the best hand here with tens, and I'll be in position to the big blind who has me covered. So that'll be nice if I can hit a good flop and get it all in against this guy. I don't think he has a better hand than me. The only person I'm really worried about would be the small blind. For those reasons, I decided to make the call for 91K, and the button gets out of the way. So we're off to a flop 3 ways, but now heads up against the big blind in a side pot. The flop comes 6 of diamonds, 3 of hearts, 5 of spades. I'm loving this board, and I don't really expect the big blind to connect with a whole lot of this. So when he checks to me, I decide to rip it all in here. And he tells me that he knows he's beat, but he makes the call, so I'm loving that. He flips over ace-queen offsuit, and the small blind flips over ace-9 offsuit. We are in great shape here, headed to one of the biggest pots I've played, the biggest pot in this tournament for sure. The turn comes the king of clubs, and the river duds off as the deuce of clubs. We scoop in a 3-way all-in pot with pocket tens and end up stacking one player and thinning out the player field. Let's keep running it up.
Let's go.
Next hand for me, we got pocket nines in middle position, blinds at 2,000, 4,000, 110K in the stack. One limp, I make it 12,000, gets to the small blind who rips it all in for just 24K. He was short stacked. Folds back to me. I think we have a pretty straightforward call here, which I make. He shows ace-king offsuit. Frankie got the board, but his phone broke, so I am going to do my best color commentary on this runout. The flop comes 4, 8, 10, all spades. We are holding the 9 of spades. Our gentleman opponent has 0 spades. Phenomenal flop. The turn, the 7 of hearts, gives us an open-ender, just for good measure. The river is an ace, but it's the ace of diamonds. We get rivered and lose. Poker is so fun. Whip-de-doo. He only had 24K, not the worst thing in the world, but definitely wish we would have won that flip. On to the next one.
Guys at our table were
Back into our conference room.
Guy at my table was like, why are all 3 of the next gen still in? I was like, oh, I don't know. He's like, well, I thought you guys were bad tournament players. Got him!
Boys, 155K going into break number 2 on the final table bubble.
It's 4-8, goes up to
4-8.
6-12.
I have 100K. We needed to hit that flip. 9s versus ace king. That sucked.
Drop a like if you think it is possible that one of us cashes this tournament.
I
Leave a
have
like.
290K.
4 people cash.
I think
4
Jello,
people cash.
is Jello chip leading?
I might be chip leading.
Jack's
pretty close to
If
chip
someone's
leading.
gonna do it, it's the man.
Let's go. We're all 3 making it top 3.
I'm cashing as well. Let's go.
I'm in jammer fold, boys. Next hand you see of me, it's all in. Let's do it.
Next hand for me, pocket 6s on the button, blinds 4K, 8K, only 90K in our stack. Do the math. It's about 11 big blinds. We're ripping it all in. There's about 14 people left. Top 4 get paid. We got to make something happen here. I go all in on the button, hoping to just steal the blinds. Frankie's in the small blind. He folds. Awesome. Big blind goes into the tank. Once he goes into the tank, I'm not sure what I want to happen here. He ends up calling, so let's see what he's got. Pocket 10s. I think that's a slow roll, man. He's got to snap that off. He had a bigger stack than me by far. Anyways, pocket 10s versus pocket 6s. Frankie had the run out. His phone broke, so we don't have it. I'll just tell you, brick, 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 brick. That's our tournament. We go out versus pocket 10s. The first of the next gen boys to go out. Hopefully these two can make a deep run. Wink, wink.
We're at the final table, short stack. I'm in the hijack. I've got all what's important is that I have 7.5 big blinds, 121,000 in my stack. I rip it all in, and we get action. The small blind calls. The same player I hit a set against with pocket 8s is trying to eliminate me from this tournament. Let's see a flop. Jack 6-5, we hit a set. I see the turn card and he is dead. I start celebrating and you guys can watch the clip out. We're still alive.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Frankie doubles up.
Here is an insane cooler from the final table. Ace-7 versus Ace-3, and Ace-7 hits a one-outer on the river to hit the higher full house.
That's so gross.
That's gross! Holy fuck! Dude! Can you believe it? We call that. I know.
That was a roller coaster.
Oh my god.
Those are all the same
What just happened? That's gross. Gross.
This was a wild hand at the table. We get it all in 3 ways. Not us, actually. 3 other players. Ace-King versus King-Queen suited versus Queens. The run out holds for the big stack, actually. Ace-King offsuit eliminates 2 players. We're getting closer, ladies and gentlemen. Massive spot in the final table. We are 4-handed. I've got 300,000. It folds to me on the button. Pocket 4s. I rip it all in and we get action. The person on the small blind makes a call with Ace-King offsuit. He has us barely covered. Huge spot here. Let's go to a run out. All the action is very awesome live.
Pocket 4s. He's got Ace-King now.
Frankie, all in. Pocket 4s versus Ace-King.
Come on, Ethan. Rampage poker luck.
Keep it low.
Let's go,
Keep it
Ethan.
Low.
That's nice. It's a good start. Nice. No ace, no king.
Holy crap, I have the best hand right now.
There you go. There you go. No ace, no king. Frankie, you got it.
King.
Yes.
Let's go. Let's go.
And we are down to the final 3. Me, Frankie, and this other guy playing 3-handed poker here. I actually am short stack now. Unfortunately, I did run chip leader majority of the tournament and things didn't go my way at the final table. Lost a few hands and now I am short stack looking to jam soon. We look down at King 10 of clubs on the big blind and both players fold, so we scoop in a little pot our way. Very next hand we're dealt King Queen in the small blind. We decide to rip it all in and both players fold, so we scoop in another pot our way. Finally, we look down at Ace-9 offsuit on the button. I think this is another hand where I've just got to be ripping it in all the time with such a small stack. I rip it in, Frankie folds, and the other guy calls. He flips over Ace-Deuce of hearts, so we are ahead. We're looking good, looking great, going to a flop, which comes King of hearts in the window. That's not good. Don't want to see any more hearts on this board. Deuce of spades and 10 of hearts. He absolutely drills this board. He flops nut flush draw along with this pair. I'm drawing dead to 2 9s because the 9 of hearts will also give him the flush. The board runs out and we do not hit our 9. We end up losing this pot, coming in 3rd place in this tournament, making quite a run. This was the most exciting, fun time and such an amazing experience. Thank you to Hot Social for having us out.
We are now at the final table. The only thing you've missed so far is he folded to me the first hand. We went to 1 flop and I ended up check folding. So now we're in either the 3rd or 4th hand. I look down at Ace-9 of diamonds and I raise to 100,000 with the blinds being 25, 50. So with about 600,000 in my stack, I only have around 11 big blinds. And now the big blind rips it all in. I do not know exactly what to do with Ace-9 of diamonds. This is my first time playing heads up ever. You can see in the moment there is a lot of pressure with my phone being out of storage. But let's just go live and see what happens. Let's just watch it all.
$1,200.
Frankie's tournament life is on the line. He needs a 9 or diamonds. Can we get a chop potentially?
Come on. We can for sure get a chop with a king.
Like Jello says, we for sure can chop. We're looking for a king now or runner diamonds.
Oh, a diamond would win it for him. A diamond would win it for him.
The 10 of diamonds is a great card. Can we luck box and basically ensure a win in this tournament with another diamond? No, we cannot. He hits 2 pair and our tournament's over, but it was a huge success overall. Unfortunate that we got it in bad at the end. You guys can let me know what you think about that 10 big blind spot. I think a lot of more studying needs to be done, but like Rosie said at the beginning, we don't know what we're doing. We came for a good time at the Hot Social Club, and that is what we got.
Aren't that they wanted first? I can tell they wanted the glory.
Yeah, we did.
Second and third isn't good enough for them. I'm sitting here in like 90th. Wow.
That was a fantastic session.
Obviously, you guys
we'll go
know.
Over it first in the
Yeah,
cash.
I'll go first because mine's not that fun. I am the loser of today's session, but this was a win for us as NextGenPoker. I'm so happy for these boys. I lost around 85 in the cash game, busted the tourney. I don't care at all. These guys took it home for us.
Jello.
I made $19 in the cash game, so pretty big profit at the 1-3 game.
That's where the bulk of it came from.
I was playing a deep stacked 1-3 game, so that game was running pretty crazy. Only played for a little bit, and then played in the tournament and cashed out 3rd place.
Out of how many?
Out of 400, 500 players, I don't know.
30.
Cash was 604 there, so that was a nice little profit to end the night.
We didn't expect to play a $120 buy-in Texas Hold'em deep stack freeze out tournament in Waco, Texas, but we did. And we mustered our way into mustard. What the?
He's hungry. Whataburger coming soon.
Mustard. I got second. I got second.
Place, baby.
Yeah, obviously, was a little upset I did not win, but you know what? $800.
Yeah. And I mean, tournament chat pros, let us know in the chat. Like,
Yeah, how do you think we played?
Ace 9 suited with like 11 bigs.
I think we call off.
I don't
know. Remember I said the disclaimer, don't listen to anything you say.
Yeah, we did say it before it started.
Yeah, we did.
Don't listen to a single thing we did.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think that couldn't have worked out any better. I lost $80 playing cash. I won $880 playing a tournament. So that minus the buy-in is a total profit of $700 for the day.
So NextGen's in the black. Don't worry about me. I'll be okay.
Make sure to check out Hot Social Club for more tournaments like this.
It's
newest
Waco.
Club in Waco.
So Waco's
Texas.
south of Dallas, north of Austin, like middle of Texas.
You don't have to be good to win here.
If
You
you're
just
looking
gotta
for good
show
action,
up.
I'm
Just
telling
show
you.
up and you probably will win because like they reward fish here.
Hop in,
too.
flop the nuts, and you make $1,000.
All right.
Easy money.
We are gonna stop sitting in the parking lot and go home.
I'm hungry.
It's getting
Subscribe,
late.
like, do all the things.
Please.
We tried out live streaming on Instagram and TikTok. That was fun. We'll do that again.
Follow us on those accounts at the NextGenPoker on Instagram, NextGenPoker on TikTok, all in link below.
Yeah.
We are having some merch drops. Be ready for new merch on the way. We've got some exciting stuff in the works, so just keep out on the lookout on NextGenPokerShop.com.
Yes, sir.
Peace.